Hey everyone, welcome 10th graders. If you think about the apps on your phone, the city you live in, or even the school you go to, none of that just magically appeared overnight. And honestly, considering we literally started with rocks and sticks, it's kind of a miracle we got here at all. Today in this explainer, we're going to look at the ancient world as basically the ultimate startup phase of human progress. This is the era when humanity made that massive jump from just trying to survive to actually building the complex societies that gave us the blueprint for literally everything we do today. So let's dive right into this incredible journey of human innovation, shall we?
Here's our roadmap for today. We're looking at 1. Mesopotamia, first ancient cities. 2. Egypt, engineering the Nile. 3. Greece, democracy and philosophy. 4. Rome, law and empire. And 5. India and China, lasting innovations.
To make sense of all this, we really need a timeline. It is so easy to think of ancient history as just one giant bucket of old stuff, right? But the truth is, one era directly fueled the next. From the absolute dawn of civilization in Mesopotamia, a clear chain reaction of human achievement was set into motion. We're talking river engineering, the rise of democracy, a dramatic shift from a republic to a vast empire, and classical innovations happening simultaneously over in the East. They all build beautifully upon one another.
All right, stop number 1, Mesopotamia, first ancient cities.
Human progress wasn't magic, you guys. It was a domino effect. And it started in the Fertile Crescent, which is this vital little strip of land nestled right between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Here's how it went down. Step 1, people settle near rivers, because, well, they need water. Step 2, that water lets them develop farming, which creates a surplus of food for the literal first time in history. Step 3, surplus food means you can trade. And finally, at step 4, as trade gets more and more complicated, you kind of need a way to keep track of it all, right? Boom, the invention of writing. That's right, written language wasn't invented for beautiful poetry. It was invented for ancient business receipts. This whole snowball effect ultimately built the very first ancient cities.
Moving on to part 2, Egypt, engineering the Nile.
So over in Egypt, civilization scaled up to just unprecedented heights, mostly by harnessing the power and predictability of the Nile River. Controlling that harsh environment allowed for the rise of these incredibly powerful pharaohs. And look, when you have that kind of centralized power, plus a massive, organized population, you get the social and technological leaps required to build monumental structures, right alongside huge advances in early science and engineering. And honestly, the true legacy of Egypt is perfectly captured by the pyramids. Now, these weren't just giant tombs. They are undeniable, rock-solid proof of absolutely incredible advancements in math and engineering. To put this mastery into perspective for you, the pyramids were built so long ago that woolly mammoths were actually still roaming the earth while they were being constructed. Like, no way, right? But that is the level of absolute environmental and resource mastery we're talking about here.
Okay, let's head to part 3, Greece, democracy and philosophy. Democracy, a system of government by the whole population. This right here is the exact moment in our history where people looked around and stopped accepting that just one person, like a king or a pharaoh, gets to make all the rules. As 10th graders living in the United States, this ancient Greek concept is the direct, undeniable ancestor to the civic systems, the voting structures, and the representative government that you study, live with, and will actually soon participate in as voters. But it wasn't just about voting. The Greeks started asking these profound questions. Like, why are we here? How does the world actually work? Greek thinkers started tackling these ideas instead of just accepting ancient myths. Combine those foundations of Western philosophy with their monumental cultural achievements, I'm talking theater, art, literature, and you get a civilization that completely rewired the intellectual life of modern society. Next up, part 4, Rome, law, and empire. So, if the Greeks were the great thinkers, the Romans were for sure the great builders and lawmakers. They basically took those foundational Greek ideas and figured out how to scale them across a massive multi-continental empire. They started out as a republic, a representative government where citizens had a voice, very similar to the ideals we hold here in the US. But as they relentlessly expanded, keeping control became really complex, which led to the Roman Empire, a system of centralized imperial rule. It's this dramatic evolution of political power that really shows just how incredibly tough it is to manage a massive society. But whether they were a republic or an empire, Rome left us two vital things: enduring engineering and a foundational legal system. Concepts like innocent until proven guilty and written legal codes interpreted by judges, those are the literal blueprints for the courtrooms you see in the US today. Their laws held the people together, but their engineering held the physical empire together. Get this, the Roman concrete poured 2,000 years ago to build their aqueducts and ports, it is actually stronger than the modern concrete we use to build our sidewalks today. Absolutely wild.
And finally, Part 5, India and China, Lasting Innovations.
While all this was happening, simultaneously over in the East, game-changing innovations were popping up that would eventually revolutionize the entire globe. In ancient India, we saw massive leaps in mathematics, including the radical, world-changing concept of zero, plus the birth of major world religions like Hinduism and Buddhism. And at the exact same time in ancient China, brilliant minds were creating tangible inventions, things like papermaking, gunpowder, and the compass. They also set up these highly sophisticated civil service exams and government structures that kept huge populations organized and thriving. I mean, these classical empires were absolute powerhouses of innovation.
So when you take a step back and really look at the grand sweep of human history from the Tigris River to the Great Wall, what you're really seeing is a legacy of compounding human progress. It's like a giant puzzle. Early farming led to trade led to cities, cities led to written laws, and laws led to massive empires and shared innovations. Literally everything we rely on today was built on the backs of these early civilizations figuring things out for the very first time. So, I want to leave you with this final thought. These empires, Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, Rome, India, China, they built the physical and intellectual foundations of our world. As students growing up in America today studying this history, you are inheriting the results of all their hard work. So the real question is, what is going to be our legacy? When future students look back at our time, what will they say we contributed to the compounding progress of humanity? Think deeply about that as you continue your studies. Thanks for joining me for this explainer today.